Government recently released their new dietary guidelines for Americans, which encourage all Americans to eat at least 2 to 3 seafood meals each week for heart and brain benefits. Nationally renowned nutritionist and author Elizabeth Ward is joining us today to underscore the importance of seafood consumption among all Americans, especially pregnant and breastfeeding women. Elizabeth will also clear up any misconceptions about seafood. Welcome to our show, Elizabeth from Boston. How are you today?
I'm just fine, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, you are the author of a very popular book, My Plate for Moms, How to Feed Yourself and Your Family Better, decoding the dietary guidelines for real life. It seems appropriate to ask you about the USDA's and the HHS's newly released 2015-2020 dietary guidelines for Americans, and in particular, the new guidelines for seafood consumption. What do you feel are the big takeaways from the newest dietary guidelines? It's a huge introduction, a huge question, but I know you can answer that easily.
The new guidelines suggest that we make shifts in our diet so that we can eat healthier. So that means we need more whole grains, more low-fat and lean sources of dairy, and more fruits and vegetables. And it also means that we need more seafood. And the dietary guidelines specifically call out seafood. They say that adults need a minimum of 2 servings of seafood weekly, and that pregnant and breastfeeding women need 2 to 3 meals of seafood weekly, and that's really because seafood benefits the brain and the heart.
What's in the seafood that benefits the brain and the heart?
Okay, so seafood is full of omega-3 fats, and when we talk about developing children, we specifically are thinking about DHA, which is a type of omega-3 fat that the baby needs for its brain development. Now, for the rest of us who are not pregnant or breastfeeding, we need the omega-3s for our heart, but seafood is also full of vitamin D and vitamin B12 and iron, and those are nutrients that most of us don't get enough of.
And the guidelines underscore the importance for pregnant and breastfeeding women to eat more seafood. How do these guidelines improve a baby's health in the womb? And of course, that takes it through the early years of development as well.
Right. So seafood does have that omega-3 fat called DHA, and that is incorporated into the baby's brain. You know, that's the dominant fat in the baby's brain. It's a dominant fat in our brain, too. But when we're talking about a developing baby, it's critical that mom gets the 2 to 3 seafood meals a week, because seafood is the best natural source of DHA, that important omega-3, and seafood is good for mom's health, too.
Yes, ma'am. Real quick, one more question. Best to eat it broiled, on the grill, or fried?
Well, you know, you should limit fried foods of all kinds, and you know, the best way to eat seafood is the way you like it. Grilled is fine, broiled is fine, but also just, you know, right out of a can. I love canned tuna. I loved pouch tuna, canned salmon, pouch salmon. You know, it's so convenient, and it's a great way to get up to that minimum of 2 seafood meals a week. And if you want more, you want to know more about how you can work it in, like during the day, there's a meal planner that you can take a look at getrealaboutseafood.com.
You touched my heart with that canned tuna. I love it. Much more to come. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And we've got more of Low Country Live in just a moment. Stay with us.